you tell I'm in denial?
You can't stay at the top forever.
I was also very surprised when I looked at my phone and saw Joe Girardi dismissed.
Well, I think mine were with common sense.
I think now belongs in the all-time greats top 10.
Boston, I really think only got to this point because of a guy named Chris Middleton being out for the Bucks.
That power play just was unbearable. It was humming.
Man, am I happy. I knew that this was going to happen. I knew he was going to come back.
When I think of New York Yankees now, it's Judge. Probably people in the past when Jeter was coming up.
I would be shocked. A little bit hurt.
Hey, this is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, TexasFootball.com, and Valley Sports Southwest. You are listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the Week. And a man that is not moving, hopefully, Austin.
Yeah, I just cannot believe what's happening with the Athletics. They are, I would argue, now that a lot of the bad owners have been moved out of the NFL and all this other stuff, I would say they're maybe, I'd say, I'll be definitive. They are the worst run team in American sports. Is that wrong to say?
Financially run, yes. I would argue like the Cowboys are pretty bad.
But you guys make the playoffs and you guys aren't having
sure.
all this other stuff. In moving the team isn't necessarily just purely financial. But it is a lot about money.
The owner, people were clowning him, and I appreciated it because they were like, man, he's like, can't wait to see Aaron Judge hit home runs in the Sacramento Stadium. How about have good players that hit home runs regularly instead of a visiting player?
Say that again.
So the Athletics owner is like, man, I'm just excited to see players like Aaron Judge hit home runs in this ballpark in Sacramento. Why not be excited to have players on your team that will be there more than Aaron Judge will be when the Yankees visit the stadium? It's just, he doesn't seem to care about the team, doesn't care about the fan base, because who's going to show up in Sacramento?
Yeah, I mean, hearing that, I had to hear that again. You're saying that the owner is excited to see other teams hit homers in the park?
Yeah. Or hit in the ballpark.
I'm not sure I heard that right, because that's a terrible quote. That is such a bad quote. You're excited to see the other team score runs? You're excited to see the other team hit homers? I couldn't imagine if in the NFL you said, I can't wait to see the other team. I can't wait to see Mahomes throw touchdown passes in our stadium. What do you mean? That doesn't make any sense. And that's like saying in hockey, I can't wait to watch Connor McDavid score goals in our stadium. He's definitely not preparing to win. This is one of the worst mindsets an owner can have. Because it really is just about the money. That proves it, right, Kevin? That just proves that he only cares about the entertainment value of and what it brings to him monetarily than actually winning games.
Apparently, I may have misread the quote. Apparently, he says Athletics players and players like Aaron Judge hitting homers here at baseball's most intimate parks. Still pretty bad quote when you can't even.
Why are you bringing up other teams?
Yeah, that's true. Because there's no market value because he doesn't put anything into it. It's just bad. And yeah. So that was my thing. I was searching to make sure I got the quote, but yeah, it's an insane quote.
And I haven't fact checked this, but you said that they are not going to be called Sacramento during those 3 or 4 years, because I know they could be 25, 26, 27, and also maybe 28. Depends on when their stadium's done. But they're just going to be called the Athletics, not Oakland Athletics, not Sacramento Athletics, just Athletics.
Yes. Yeah, they will have no city affiliation in their name. But apparently they filed trademarks for the Sacramento Athletics and Sacramento A's.
Okay. I would find it hard to believe. I've never heard of a team ever not have any city affiliation in their name. There's been some that have been weird, like California Angels, like when there's a lot of other teams. Like then they go to Anaheim, and then they go to LA while they're all at the same park. And the same thing that happened with the Oakland. Then were they LA Angels as well? I'm not LA. LA Raiders, Los Angeles Raiders. I think they were. I think they were.
Played in LA? Or
Yeah, they went Oakland and then LA and then Oakland and then Las Vegas, I believe.
Oh, got it. Okay, yeah. I think you may be correct. I was thinking more recently, but yeah.
Yeah, and then they obviously there's the Rams who are in St. Louis and now in LA. I don't know why they wouldn't go California Athletics. If they didn't want to go Sacramento, at least go state. Because you're still in the same state. You wouldn't really have to change necessarily how the team is viewed if you went California. But it's just such a crapshoot. I don't know if it could be more poorly run.
Yeah, it's just awful. Like, I wish they could have stayed in Oakland because poor Oakland as teams keep leaving, but then they're going to Vegas, even Sacramento. I think people, like random people from Vegas, will show up to the Athletics, but I don't think they're going to have a diehard fan base in Las Vegas like they do in, Oakland. They don't show up, but it's just because the team's so bad. So, yeah, this is pretty tough, and I just wish the owner would get rid of the team. Like, he just leaves someone else to deal with it, and then someone else can actually do something about it. Because even, like, the baseball stadium, too, it's a minor league stadium. So can this handle...
Yeah, in Sacramento, yeah.
Yeah, major leaguers. Like, what's it going to be like doing that?
What I do find kind of funny is that this team in Sacramento, will they still be holding minor league games there?
That's a good question.
Because I find it really funny if at the game at noon was the minor league team, and then the game at 6 was the Athletics versus the Yankees. Like, I find that really funny. It's like a minor league, major league double header.
Yeah. Okay, apparently they will be sharing the ballpark. The Sacramento River Cats.
Yeah, yeah, that's horrible. I can just imagine. I mean,
they're probably going to do it to, like, they'll do the schedule where the A's are away while Sacramento's home, and then Sacramento's home. Or Sacramento's away.
True.
But still, it's a pain.
It's still stupid. Like, one day...
Because what happens if the Sacramento River Cats make it to the playoffs?
Yeah.
Then you're gonna have to relocate. But yeah, sorry to cut you off.
No, yeah, you're good. This is almost as bad as what's happening in Arizona with the Coyotes right now, where they're playing at Arizona State Stadium, and so it again, a hockey team playing at Arizona State. Even though Arizona State's a great hockey team, they only hold 5,000 versus the 20,000 that's usually held in like a normal NHL arena, 15 to 20,000. So it's weird. Could you imagine playing a playoff game here? Like, what if the Athletics, the guys they are drafted, are good, and in 2027 they finally make a playoff? Like, what?
I'm also curious about. Or sorry,
you go.
I'm curious. Like, this is totally separate. I heard media members, it was specifically from the Stars, they were talking about covering a game in Arizona, and they're like, we were at like ice level calling it. So, like, what is it like for a reporter going to Sacramento? And if you're doing a playoff game, like, what's the broadcast going to feel like? Like, where are they going to put them?
Yeah, I know this isn't going to happen, almost certainly. But, like, what if this is the World Series? And this is my thought with the Coyotes. I know, again, they're almost certainly not going to it while they're playing at Arizona State Stadium. But if they were to play in the Stanley Cup final and they're the best team in the league, and the Game 7 is in that stadium. Like that's where you want that. That is the pinnacle of the sport for that season. That is it. That is what you play the entire year for, and it's in a stadium that is not even meant to host it. It's weird. It's poorly run. The one thing I will say, the Coyotes are better run than the Athletics because the Coyotes are trying to stay in Arizona. They're trying to stay in Phoenix. So they are, and their fans don't hate them. Like the Athletics actively hate their own team.
Bad.
And I want to ask you this. Do you think if he sold the team that Athletics fans would like the team more? Because they're moving to Sacramento anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, is the bridge already burned?
Yeah. I think the bridge is already burned, but it's just like, can you be able to build a bridge there again? Like,
maybe in Vegas. Vegas has been welcoming to the Raiders and to Vegas. I think they're much closer to Vegas because Vegas was not a team that moved there. Vegas. It's the only place it's been. Vegas Golden Knights has been there.
yeah.
And that's
Like
what
the Golden Knights. Sorry, like they have a passionate fan base.
Yeah, they do.
I don't see it with the Raiders.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
Raiders,
weird. It's weird. It's weird.
The away team has more fans there than the home team. But if you're talking about Vegas, like I've been to a Stars game and there were just so many. Like during the national anthem, you could hear people yell Knights. Like that is a passionate fan base.
I can say this in the playoffs. I went to a Stars Knights playoff game, and there's still a lot of Vegas fans in the stadium screaming, like you said, Knights. I still, again, this is extremely off topic, but I want to talk about it for a second. I still remember when the Knights started doing that, and they heard the Stars doing it, and they thought the Stars had copied them, but they've been doing it for years. Yeah. It's funny, but it's. I think that would be the only true Vegas team. Like I see when I see that team, I think of their identity, and they are a passionate group of fans. I think Vegas could be a great team to host other sports, but when they're moving there, it's especially in today's society, like it's different for the Rangers because the Rangers have been here for so long now. Even though they were in Washington, they're now here, and they've been here for a long enough time that they don't think of themselves as the past. But the Athletics are always going to be thought of as Oakland. They won titles as Oakland. They were there for 50, 60 years. But it's funny, though, because they moved from Philadelphia to Oakland. So this is not their first time moving. They were in Philly, now Oakland, and then will eventually be Las Vegas.
Yeah, if you want to go more recent, it is a Texas team. When the Stars moved from Minnesota to Dallas. But I see just
Minnesota has a team now.
Yeah, it's true.
That's the problem I see with Oakland that is losing all their teams. The same thing with the Las Vegas Raiders is that those fans are not going to root for the Raiders. They're also not going to root for the 49ers. Like you're not going to just switch to another California team. So you're put in like this weird place. While the Wild fans are now just Wild fans. Like the North Star fans, they got the Wild in 2000. Like immediately after, like it was not a long switch. Okay. I think the Stars came in 90.
It was like 90. It was a few years before the 99 change.
It was like 95 or 96. I think it was 96. In 97 is when the Wild came, or 98. Okay. Like let me search that up really quick. Okay. When did the Wild?
But yeah, you could, if we wanted to go, you could go St. Louis when the Rams left for LA. And now I guess they're becoming a huge Battlehawks town.
I know I have a friend who is from St. Louis, and he says his least favorite team in hockey or in football is the Rams. He hates the Rams. The Rams are very much not the team that he wants to root for, and it's because of that lack of trust that you have. So in 2000 was the first year of the Wild, while the Stars. 1994. So 1994 to 2000, that's 6 seasons. Because 93, 94 is the first, and then 6 or 7 seasons. But that's but now they're Wild fans. It's been 20 plus years. It's obviously been 24 years since that move. So now they're just Wild fans. You didn't lose fans because now they're just Wild fans. While with the Athletics, like you'll lose fans because they're not going to become Vegas Athletics. Yeah. That also sounds horrible to me, but
yeah. And you could also go like this is on Manfred too. Like you got to have some type of forward thinking in this. Like, okay, you're leaving Oakland. What's the plan for Vegas and building the stadium? Because like there have always been like the past few years are like Oakland's going to leave. Why not build the stadium then in Las Vegas?
Poorly run. It's poorly run, poorly planned, and all that. It's just such a crapshoot. Like I said, I don't know any other way to explain it. It's just the worst run organization in sports in my opinion.
Yeah, it's terrible, and I feel for the fans. And that's all I got. Any final thoughts?
Nope.
That's all we got. Let us know what you thought in this, and do you share the same sentiments, or are you excited? Are you a Sacramento fan that's excited to get some more baseball close by? But let us know your thoughts in the comments, and we appreciate you listening to Outsiders Opinions.